everyone. If you are just joining me for the first time, which more than likely you probably are because I only have like 2 other videos up. If you're joining me for the first time, my name is Nadia Alexis and welcome to my channel. I'm still learning where to look, like I said, but bear with me. I saw that the thing to do right now is story times, and I have a lot of stories that I could tell. Today, I have a story time, and I have a lot of story times actually, and just let me say in the beginning, I don't want my story times to ever seem like I'm trying to be negative or complaining, because at the end of the day, all my story times that were like bad experiences had a lesson at the end that has helped me grow into the person I am becoming, the woman I am becoming today. Today, I will be talking, because I actually haven't seen anybody post about this, is my horror story from going to Aveda Institute, Charlotte. And I actually, the more that I've talked to people, a lot of people have had bad experiences going there. Like, I just talked to one of my coworkers the other day. This girl just started, and she went for cosmetology. Well, I went for aesthetics, and she just was not feeling it either. Let me just start off by saying, like, disclaimer, I am not here to bash Aveda. Aveda is not a bad company. I love Aveda's products. I love their culture, but I didn't love the school at all. And maybe in other cities the school's better, but in Charlotte, it was not the move, and it wasn't the move for a lot of people. Not just me, a lot of people. I love this, like I said, I love Aveda because it taught me about chakras. That's where I actually first heard about chakras, because they have like an oil that you could match chakras and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, the products are awesome. I met a lot of amazing women out there. Like, I loved my classmates because there was probably like 14 of us, I think, max in there. But hold on, I think I have to burp. Oh my god. Oh shit, sorry. I did learn some good tips though. I did learn a lot of things that I can carry with me now. I'm just gonna say I didn't even do aesthetics in the end at all. Half of my class didn't even do aesthetics at the end just because we were over it. Anyways, sorry for the long rant. I hate when people do that too. Here's my story time. Grab you a snack, grab you a drink. I have mine, so don't mind if I chew throughout this story. I actually ate most of my snacks, so it probably won't even be like that. Anyways, let's start off. I went into Aveda probably back in February of I think it was like 2013, maybe 2013, something like that. I was like 23, so yeah, it was February 2013 and graduated July 2013 because it's a 6-month program, thank God. That's all. And so, let me first off start by saying, I have like notes written down, so like, bear with me. Every morning, well, I had school Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was in the SD class, that was upstairs, and there's an SD class that's downstairs, because you spend 3 months upstairs, 3 months downstairs. Like, upstairs is like the class, and downstairs is like when you're in the spa actually practicing on real clients. Anyways, so yeah, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we were there from, I believe, like 9 to 8 or so, something like that. It was like 10-hour, 12-hour days. Saturdays, we were there from 8 to like 6, something like that, you know? It was basically like a full-time job. I was there like 30 hours a week, which is cool. The quicker I can get out of there, because cosmetology had to be there for a year, which I felt really bad for them. Okay, so, with that being said, having to be at school that early, you know, it kind of, they wanted you to be kind of trained for like the real world and being an adult and having real jobs, even though most of us already had jobs, so we knew what it was. Anywho, you had to come, part of your uniform, well, we had to wear all black. It was all black. You could wear whatever color shoes you want, like whatever color accessories. You could have tattoos and piercings, which was another thing I did like. Even though we had to wear all black, I love all black, and I love that you could have tattoos and hair color. Obviously, it's a beauty school, so, you know, you get to have your own style or whatever. Anyways, yeah, so on top of that, you had to have 3 pieces of makeup on, whether it be eyeshadow, mascara, eyeliner, lipstick, a bronzer, foundation, all of that. You had to have at least 3 pieces on a part of your uniform when you got there, or it's a problem. One thing I will say, like, they didn't teach me much makeup, but my classmates did teach me that I was caking on the eyeshadow too much. let's get back to, I'm rambling. Okay, so every Tuesday, Thursday, I don't think we did it on Saturday, but we might have. We had to have like a meeting, and there were, like I said, there was 2 SD classes. Our class, which was the upstairs class, and then the downstairs class, which was already practicing, and they were on their way to graduating. Then there were probably like, I don't know, there were a lot of Cosmo classes because they're all over different, like, they had like 4 phases or whatever. So there's probably like 4 or 5 or 6 cosmetology classes. And we would all meet in the morning in the little, in like the hair salon, but it was also like an auditorium type thing because they did graduations and stuff there. There was a stage, and we had guest speakers a lot. And every morning, before I even get to the late policy, let me talk about, after you had to rush to get there early in the morning with your 3 pieces of makeup on, we would sit there and then kind of go over whatever, like stuff going on and happenings like that. And also in the beginning, we had to do this like chant. I know there's a real word for it, but I can't think of what it is. It's not like motto, it's not creed or whatever. I feel like I have to burp again, so excuse me if I do. But it was just like, okay, that wasn't as bad. It was like, our mission at Aveda is to care for the world we live in, from the products we make and to the ways we give back to society. At Aveda, we strive to set a better example for environmental leadership and responsibility, not just in the community or some shit like that, but around the world. They wanted you to do like that, like around the world, like spirit finger type shit. And I remember the first time that happened, me and my classmates all looked at each other like, what the fuck is going on in here? What kind of Illuminati type shit is this? And like, it was just really weird. I kind of honestly never really said it because I just felt really weird. I've always kind of been like a nonconformist, and I did not want to do that because I felt like I was being conditioned in some kind of fucking way. But anyways, back to the late policy. The late policy at Aveda was, you couldn't even be a minute late. We had to be at school, like I said, at like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. If you got there at 8:01, they were sending you home. If you came back from your break 1 minute late, unless your teacher wasn't an asshole, you were getting sent the fuck home. People were driving, I don't know if a lot of you are familiar with Charlotte, North Carolina or whatever, but people were driving from like Pageland, which is like more than 30 minutes. Like, they were driving from South Carolina. People were driving really far to come to this school for their opportunity. And I get that, yeah, you gotta be responsible and make sure you get to school, but shit happens. There's traffic sometimes and all that, and they didn't care. And the thing is, in the first half of the school, like when you're upstairs in the beginning part, if you miss more than 3 days, you're fuck out. And you gotta start all over. And, oh, hey, crap, my dog kind of scared me for a second. Hey, baby. Hey, sweetie. Can't really see him. Move! Okay, my other dog's here. Sage, he's the other one that was in the story. Alright. Sorry, okay. So, yeah, you would get sent home. And that brings me to my first story. Actually, I had a teacher when I got downstairs named, I'm not going to say her real name. We're going to call her Tiffany, which is the first thing that came to my mind. And you don't mind that flapping you hear in the back. It's my dog drinking water. But anyways, Tiffany, for some reason, I don't know, she didn't like me. I mean, she was pregnant, so maybe it was just her mood swings, but it just seemed like she didn't like me. But like I said, I was kind of like, I wasn't ever a bad student, but I'm not going to kiss your ass. I'm not going to kiss your ass at work. I'm not going to kiss your ass at school. I'm not going to kiss your ass point blank, period. Okay? I'm not going to kiss your ass. And so I just feel like, I guess she realized that about me, and she didn't like me because of that. And so she sent me home, you guys. I feel like this was when I was downstairs. It was kind of like whatever. At that point, once you got sent home, you had to stay and make up those days, and that's bullshit, but it's fine. Like, I'll get to that later too. And so I'm trying to not keep this that long because I'm already at 10 minutes from my camera, but I'll cut it anyways. So, yeah, the first time she sent me home, me and my friend, I'm going to call my friend Lily. Me and Lily went on our break, and we got back, like, literally, like, a minute after. We were rushing. We couldn't get into the damn, like, the clock-in thing. It wasn't working right. And so she yelled at us, blah, 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 blah. We go to our rooms to set up for our clients that we had that day because we both had facials or waxes or whatever. So she comes to me and she's like, yeah, you know, basically you were a minute late. You gotta go home. You gotta go home. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, low-key, I didn't care. I just wanted to fucking go home because the weather was nice. I wanted to be at home. Like, no, I know I didn't finish school though. But so then Lily comes in. I almost said her name, and I was like, yeah, she's sending me home. Are you going home? And she was like, no, she didn't say anything to me. She goes, that's weird that she didn't say anything. Like, she's not sending me home, but she's sending you home. Because we had already thought that she kind of felt some type of way about me, but I thought maybe I was being paranoid because I can sometimes. But then she comes in and she goes, oh, since you want to be concerned about why I'm sending only her home, you can go home too. What? Like, yeah. So that was one time. The second time she sent me home, I'm gonna go ahead and tell the stories of being sent home right quick, just because I'm already on that. Like, sorry. The second time she sent me home, our dresses had to be like fingertip. I mean, like knee length or whatever. Mine was this much above it, and I know, yeah, like maybe I should have just had it that, but it was like that much. It's barely, and it was because I was walking. Like in reality, my shit was really like past my knees, like not like past, but like right at my knees. And as soon as she saw me, sent me home like that. There was no question. Like, then the third time she sent me home, and she probably honestly sent me home more than this, but these are the 3 times that stuck out to me. This was so long ago, and like, it was just like a horrible experience at school for all of us. But I'm just saying, with my time with Tiffany. So yeah. Anyway, the third time she sent me home was because I was sick, because it was going through that awkward. By the time we got downstairs, it was like March, April, so we were kind of going through that weird like allergy phase. So I was really sick, and downstairs there was a few people that would have facials that day, a few people that would have waxings, and there was a liaison, and I felt like there was like 2 liaisons maybe, and the liaison would do towels all day, like unless somebody needed them to do like a facial or they were sick or something like that, then they would just be doing towels. So I had a bunch of facials that day. I just know that I personally wouldn't want somebody like sniffing over me when they're doing like my facial, because that's kind of nasty and unsanitary, and I feel like we were all about sanitation. It's one of the biggest things that when it comes to state board is sanitation, sanitize, wash your hands, all that kind of shit. So I just felt like I was doing the right thing by asking, could I switch with one of my classmates who didn't mind doing facials. She actually loved doing facials, and I wasn't trying to get her out because I wasn't trying to get out of it, because you had to have a certain amount of facials, a certain amount of wax, and a certain amount of makeup applications before you could graduate. And so, yeah. So I went to my classmate and I asked her, could we switch, if she was cool with switching, because why? Like, as long as I was doing something, as long as my facials were getting taken and the towels were getting done, I didn't see what the problem was. And so we switched, and she's cool with it or whatever. And then while I'm leaving, like getting my things out of my room that I had, like my wax room or my spa room, my teacher walks in, Tiffany, and she's like, you know, since you want to refuse to take your clients, that was my dog, since you want to refuse to take your clients, you can go home. And to me, I was just like, that's crazy. I was like, I'm just trying to be responsible. I think that was the smarter thing to do, is not to take people when I'm sick. And she was like, no, you should go home since you want to not take people. I'm like, whatever. I don't have time for this. I think, actually, one of those times, I did go to the director. I think it was that time. And the director just sent me home, and I thought it was ridiculous. But I went home. I think it was that time. Or it could have been another time that she tried to send me home and I went to the director. I don't know. But I do know that one time I tried to go and the director was useless. But alright. So those were the 3 times that I had a bullshit time with my teacher. Speaking with a sick policy, if you had to go home early in the day, like let's say you were sick, because there was a time that I was sick. I was still upstairs, so I had already missed 3 days, and I wasn't gonna go. And I was living on my own, but my mom still she was the one that pushed me to go to the fucking school in the first place. It was like, you still need to go. I have been throwing up all morning, and I knew that I didn't go. I had food poisoning or something. But I go, and I know that I need to go home. And in order to go home, if you leave early, you have to have a doctor's note. Even if you don't have health insurance, they don't care. You could have literally thrown up on that floor right there in front of them. You still have to have a doctor's note to be able to come back. And that's really, to me, isn't cool, because there are people that don't have health insurance. Like me, I don't have health insurance. And there's been several times with jobs where I had to go get a doctor's note just for them to be like, oh, okay. And it's like, I'm not a child. I'm an adult. Like, I have no reason to lie to you about being sick. Like, I'm grown, honey. Like, anyways. They didn't really, one of the biggest things was they didn't teach you a lot about makeup or lashes. We probably learned makeup for maybe 3 days and lashes for one, and brow and lash tinting and all that for all of them one day. Not even like in the full 10-hour day. It was probably for like maybe an hour or two, if that. And like, my thing is, I hated aesthetics, and as you can see in the back, I'm going for my nail tech certification now. I've been doing my own practice thing, but like, if they would have taught us back then more about like microblading and like mink lashes and like really more in depth with makeup, I could have probably enjoyed it more, because it was everyday facials and everyday waxing. I actually like waxing, but everyday facials, and that brings me to the other issue was you wanted us to come to school every single day with 3 pieces of makeup on just to get our makeup taken off. Like, that didn't go for like Cosmo students or even like the downstairs classes. Once we got downstairs, it was straight. But like, when you're upstairs and you literally, we basically did facials throughout the entire 3 months that we were there, because there was like 1,000 facials and there was 1,000 massages and 1,000 products and things you had to learn. Like, so we were doing facials every single day that we were there, and every single day you had to get your makeup taken off. And I mean, I don't wear like crazy expensive makeup, so I mean, still to me, it's money is money. Like, you're wasting your money. But there's girls that wear MAC and like all that who are paying like a lot of money for their foundations that they're just having to take off and put back on. And then their makeup, honestly, their other products are the shit, but their makeup, because it's organic and natural products, like, it's not that great. Their brushes, though, like the kit was great. Like, the kit, they gave you so much stuff. Like, the Cosmo students got crazy kits too, but like, our kit, we got all kinds of tweezers, like really good stork scissors, which I still have over there somewhere. I use them for nails now. All kinds of makeup brushes, all kinds of like wax stuff, like all kinds of stuff for tinting, makeup. We got a lot, like a really cool bag that I still have. Like, we got a lot of good stuff in the kit, I'll say, you know? Okay, so now I want to talk about the situation basically that made our class get shunned. So, okay, I forgot, like, our class was really cool, because my class was mostly filled with moms. Can you not lick yourself, please? I'm telling you a story. Hey. Okay, anyways, the downstairs class, like, while we were upstairs, I do not know why they did not like us. I forgot why they didn't like us, but they didn't like us. And so, yeah, there's a rule that you can't drink while you're at school, but I feel like if you have one drink and you make sure that you're fine, and one drink, like, over adult, especially at the bar, like, it's fine, you know? And at this point, well, we were still upstairs, we weren't working with clients, we were in a classroom, like, literally for 10 hours a day. So all of us, when we went to this bar, All American Pub, on our break, and we had one margarita, and I guess other classes on their lunch break too, and they saw us, and they decided to go tell the director and teacher downstairs and our teacher. For some reason, because when we came back from lunch, it was like shit was about to go down. They were all up there. Our teacher, who was usually super happy, and I loved her so much, like, our teacher upstairs, not the one downstairs that I told you I had problems with. They all looked serious, and they basically told us about that situation, and we all just denied it, because we could have got kicked out of school, and like, there would have been some problems after that. And so anyways, after that, like, it was just beef with them, and like, just in the hallways, they would just be really rude and stuff like that. It was just like high school, and like, first off, most of these women that y'all are being rude to, they were old enough to be your moms, like, definitely, like, and so why are you being so disrespectful? I forgot why they don't like us, but I know that my class was nice, so it was just on some, because they were all younger. So anywho, let me say this. Beauty school is a scam. If you didn't need beauty school, like, there's a lot of things you don't need to go to school for. That I personally feel like you don't need to go to college for, but obviously shit like being a doctor, you have to go to school for. And unfortunately, for being an esthetician or being a cosmetologist or being a nail tech or even a makeup artist, really, because these lash classes are kind of a scam too, because you can't really go work in a salon with a piece of paper that just says you're certified. You have to be licensed. But anyways, it's a scam, but like you have to be licensed in your state to be able to practice. I think there is one place, I forgot where it is, and you don't have to be, which kind of wish I lived there. But it's a scam because they really are just after your money. Because think of all the times I got sent home, and like if you knew like the amount of hours that they try to keep us all there afterwards, to try to make us have to pay extra for us to be there to graduate, was bullshit. Something happened to one of my friends. I'm gonna call her Emily because that's the first name that just popped into my head. And Emily was in our class, and she was always quiet and timid, and she was a really sweet girl. And we actually ended up getting moved downstairs. And sorry, I'm saying. But anyways, we were downstairs. We were literally probably a month left till we graduated, or maybe like it was a couple months left. It wasn't long at all. I mean, it was like a month left or two. So we graduated, and they come to Emily, they pull her to the office, like the director and my teachers or whatever, and tell her that she has to start the program over when she is a month from graduating the 6-month program. Because at the end of the 3 months, when you're upstairs, you have to do like test outs and show if you can do the facials and the waxing and all that, blah, blah, blah. And I guess they decided when she got downstairs that she wasn't ready. And they decided to wait until we were about to graduate to tell her that. And to me, that is bullshit. And then she came back to the room and she was telling all of us, and she was like really upset. She was crying, and we're like, yo, so are they making you pay again? And she's like, yes. And we're like, no, fuck that. You need to tell your parents to let them know that they can't do that shit. Like, that's not okay. Like, it's not okay. Long story short, in the end, she didn't have to pay. She ended up being upstairs in the classroom with my roommate, who was in that class. And my roommate had the same, like, not like mean girl experience, but they did not enjoy their time there either. Their class didn't like it either. They hated it, which, you know, I'm not coincidence, I don't know. And so I'm just trying to look at all this and just make sure I got all of that. My teacher, like one thing I will say that made my teacher, what did I name her, Tiffany, when I was downstairs, the one that always sent me home, she actually didn't like me at all. Like, I called her Mrs. Puff because she kind of looked like Mrs. Puff. And she, over break one time, like, cause we had our 4th of July break from like a whole week in July, I texted her and asked her something about state board, and she didn't reply. And I went to go text one of my friends that was in my class, and I said the Puff didn't respond. I accidentally texted her, and she was like, I assumed that you were talking about me, and then she answered my question, and it was just very awkward coming back, and that just made it even worse after that. But yeah, I think that, okay, and like the last thing I want to talk about, because I think that I basically covered everything. Oh, side note, I love the Aveda salons. I used to work for an Aveda salon, and I loved it. Because I said I loved the products, I didn't love the school. I loved the culture, I didn't love the school. But when you go to work at an Aveda salon, or really a lot of salons in general, as an esthetician, they tell you that those 20-step massages during the facials and all that shit, you don't even use in there. So why we had to know that, I don't know. I mean, did it teach me some good massage techniques to use for my boyfriend? Yes. But it was a waste of time. Anyways, so the last thing I want to talk about is our graduation. And like I said, we got pretty shunned once we were upstairs. Like, after that situation with the drinking happened, they just didn't like us after that. We were like the black sheep class. We were like the rebels, the bad ones, which, you know, it is what it is. The duty of youth is to challenge corruption. Kurt Cobain. But anyways, so we were told like a couple weeks before our graduation that we weren't going to get a graduation, which is kind of lame. I guess it's because I forgot why they were giving it to us. I guess because we didn't deserve it because we were the bad class. which was fine, I guess. But what wasn't fine was the day before, or what would have been graduation day, they tell us that we can't have a graduation, actually. So it was that Tuesday, and then that Thursday we were supposed to have the graduation. And people that have families that just can't be off like that. My mom couldn't just be off like that. My dad lives in Wilmington, so it really wasn't that serious for him to come down to me. But people just can't be off like that. My friends couldn't just be off like that. My classmates' friends and family could just be off like that. And so that was really upsetting. It wasn't planned. And keep in mind, we had to see all the other graduations because of the assemblies we used to have to go to. So you would see the cosmetology class, we saw the other SD class graduate, and we would see they would get these bomb ass ceremonies with slideshows and cake and balloons and shit, and they'd get to have their families there, and so that was fine. Us not getting our families was no big deal. I mean, some people were able to get theirs in time, but we thought that we were going to get better than what we got. The day we got there, we get in there, there's mannequin heads on the stage. It doesn't look like anything is set up for graduation the way it normally is. So it's time for us to graduate, and they call us up there, and people are talking. The way they go about telling us to do our speeches or something is bullshit. It was very unorganized. It was very uncomfortable. It was very embarrassing. Our whole class, we just one by one started single file line, walked off stage in the middle of our graduation because it was embarrassing. It was upsetting. Our class, a lot of my classmates were very upset because it was a big milestone for them. They were crying. It was very sad to see, because I'm a very empathetic person, so it had me angry. I didn't cry, but I was angry, and it's on my old Instagram. If I can find it, I'll insert it over here or somewhere in here. It might be a pause because I'm still learning how to do this shit. If I can find the video, I'm gonna post the video where I was just don't go there. I was really upset for my classmates, and we were all upset. If I can find it on my old Instagram, if I can remember it, I'll post it. But if not, I can't. But anyways, so that was that, and that just made us have really just be this is some, fuck Aveda, sorry to say that, but fuck them for that, because we spent a lot of money going there, and then they were scamming people with their money, saying they owed this and that amount when they already paid. And so we had to make up days too, especially me, because I had to go home so much. And so the girl that was in the attendance office, though, I think she just didn't care, and she knew the bullshit that we had gone through. So we would go to her and be oh, they forgot to put these hours down. They forgot to put up these hours. I was here for this day. And we got out of there because I was supposed to probably be there for 2 more weeks after graduation. But we got the fuck out of there because that girl just gave us the hours we said we had. And that is that. And that is why I would not recommend going to Aveda. Long story short, they don't care about their students. They care about getting your money. It's the same song that I'm still hearing it from. I meet people now and I'll be oh, how do you like it? And they don't. And like I said, it's a great culture. The products are great. I think the store is great, but the school, I left a bad taste in my mouth. I think B School is a scam. If they had nail tech, I wouldn't go there. But, I mean, that's all I have to say. I wasn't trying to offend anybody. I enjoyed meeting, I met some great people in there, but I would never go there again. And now I owe them money for something that I'm not even doing. But if you've had a great experience there, it'd be the first I've heard it. Share it below, please. I haven't heard any, but I would like to hear some of your experiences if you had good times at Aveda. Oh, there was Aveda a horror story for this one girl. I was in the bathroom when I was working in the spa, and I just happened to be downstairs getting towels, and this girl, I guess she had come in to get her hair done. She only wanted to trim. I heard her sobbing in the bathroom. She wanted to trim, and this girl, whoever did her hair, cut 6 inches off her hair. Now that's probably a horror story for her. But, you live and you learn. Oh, goodness gracious, I'm sorry. Thank you for listening. I hope that I didn't offend anybody. If I did, I'm sorry. I was just telling you my experience. Please subscribe. I have plenty more story times. I have plenty more inspiration coming. I hope this wasn't negative in any way, shape, or form. I just wanted to get it all out there. I hope that I did get it all out there. If I didn't, I'll probably add a commentary on the end. Please subscribe. Please add me on Instagram. My Instagram is oolalexi. That's OOOLA_LEXII. I'll have my social medias up here somewhere or down in the description somewhere too. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I'll be back soon with more stories. I have a lot more story times coming for you. Thank you.